What if everything you've been told about staying healthy is wrong? What if the 10,000 steps goal is actually meaningless? What if sitting isn't the silent killer you think it is? And what if the way you're trying to prevent cancer is actually making it worse? Harvard's top evolutionary biologist, Dr. Daniel Lieberman, has spent decades studying how our bodies really work, and he's about to shatter 12 dangerous myths that could be sabotaging your health right now. But here's the shocking part. Some of these lies are so deeply embedded in our culture that even doctors believe them. Why does everyone obsess over 10,000 steps when this number has absolutely no scientific basis whatsoever? Here's what the fitness industry doesn't want you to know. That magical 10,000 steps target. It came from a 1960s Japanese marketing campaign for a pedometer called Manpo-K, literally meaning 10,000 steps meter, not from research, not from health experts, from marketers. But here's where it gets disturbing. Millions of people are now stressed, guilty and obsessed with hitting an arbitrary number that has zero connection to actual health benefits. And the real kicker? Harvard professor Daniel Lieberman's research shows that regular physical activity for disease prevention doesn't require any specific step count. So what's the real number your body actually needs? And why might obsessing over steps be making you less healthy? Dr. Lieberman's research reveals that our hunter-gatherer ancestors walked about 5,000, 9,000 steps daily. But here's the crucial part. They also did strength training, sprinting and varied movement. The magic isn't in the steps. It's in the diversity of movement. Stop counting steps. Start moving in different ways throughout your day. What if I told you that sitting isn't actually killing you, and that this myth is causing more harm than the sitting itself? The media has terrified us with phrases like, sitting is the new smoking. But here's what they're not telling you. Dr. Lieberman explains that we were actually born to sit, and chronic diseases like obesity and diabetes come from other factors. Our ancestors sat for hours around fires making tools, preparing food. If sitting were deadly, humans would have gone extinct millennia ago. The real problem isn't sitting, it's what we're not doing when we sit. So what's the real culprit behind the health problems we blame on sitting? The issue isn't sitting, it's prolonged inactivity combined with overconsumption. Studies show that interrupting sitting with just 100 seconds of movement every half hour dramatically improves blood sugar, fat, and cholesterol levels. Your body is designed to transition between sitting and moving. Stop fearing your chair. Start adding micro-movements. Why do we force ourselves to exercise when our bodies are actually designed to avoid unnecessary physical activity? Here's the evolutionary truth that fitness gurus won't tell you. We never evolved to exercise, to do voluntary physical activity for the sake of health. Our ancestors moved when they had to, not because they wanted to. This is why gym memberships go unused and New Year's S fail. You're fighting millions of years of evolution that programmed you to conserve energy when possible. The fitness industry has convinced you that you're lazy when you're actually normal. So how do we get healthy without fighting our evolutionary programming? The secret is making movement necessary, not optional. Take stairs instead of elevators, walk to the store, play with your kids. Our ancestors didn't exercise, they integrated movement into daily life. Make movement part of your routine, not an extra burden you force yourself to do. What if the way you're trying to prevent cancer is actually feeding the very cells you're trying to stop? Cancer rates in the Western world are skyrocketing, but not for the reasons you think. Cancer cells compete for energy, so lifestyles with excessive energy intake and low energy expenditure can promote cancer. Here's the terrifying part. High insulin levels linked to overeating and physical inactivity are actually carcinogenic. Every time you overeat and underexercise, you're potentially feeding cancer cells the energy they need to grow. So what's the real strategy to starve cancer cells before they even start? The solution isn't complex diets or expensive supplements, it's energy balance. Cancer rates are much higher in the Western world due to higher levels of energy, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, insulin, and blood sugar. Control your energy intake, increase energy expenditure through movement, and you create an environment where cancer cells can't thrive. Why has sugar become the villain when our brains literally run on glucose? The sugar-free movement has created mass hysteria about one of our body's primary fuel sources, but here's what they're not telling you. Our ancestors consumed sugar from fruits, honey, and other natural sources for millions of years. The problem isn't sugar itself, it's the amount and the context. We've gone from occasional natural sugar during fruit seasons to constant artificial sugar in processed foods. Your body doesn't know how to handle this evolutionary mismatch. So when is sugar actually dangerous and when is it beneficial? Sugar becomes toxic when consumed in massive quantities without physical activity to use it. Your muscles and brain need glucose. The key is timing and activity. Consume sugar when you're active. Avoid it when you're sedentary. It's not about elimination, it's about evolutionary alignment. What if the 8-hour sleep rule is actually preventing you from getting the rest you really need? Sleep experts have drilled into us that we need exactly 8 hours of sleep. But this one-size-fits-all approach ignores millions of years of human evolution and individual variation. Our ancestors didn't have alarm clocks, sleep schedules, or bedroom thermostats. They slept when it was dark, woke when it was light, and took naps during the day. Yet they had no trouble surviving and thriving. So what's the real secret to restorative sleep that actually matches your biology? Your body has natural sleep rhythms that vary by season, age, and individual genetics. Some people need 6 hours, others need 9. The key is consistency, not duration. Go to bed and wake up at the same time. Let natural light regulate your circadian rhythm. Stop forcing an arbitrary 8-hour rule on a body that knows better. Why do we prioritize cardio when our ancestors barely did any sustained running? The fitness industry has convinced us that cardio is the ultimate exercise, but our evolutionary history tells a different story. Our ancestors did short bursts of intense activity, hunting, gathering, escaping predators, not marathon running. Here's the shocking truth. Excessive cardio can actually increase stress hormones, break down muscle tissue, and create the very health problems it's supposed to prevent. Yet we keep running on treadmills for hours. So what type of exercise actually matches our evolutionary design? Our bodies are designed for varied functional movement, lifting heavy things, carrying loads, climbing, short sprints and recovery. This is why high-intensity interval training works so well. It mimics our ancestral movement patterns. Mix strength, speed and endurance in short bursts rather than endless cardio. What if trying to boost your metabolism is actually working against your body's survival programming? The weight loss industry has convinced us that faster metabolism equals better health, but this completely ignores why our bodies evolved efficient energy conservation in the first place. Your body is designed to survive famines, not abundance. When you try to artificially speed up your metabolism, you're fighting millions of years of evolution that programmed you to conserve energy during lean times. So how do we work with our biology instead of against it? Instead of boosting metabolism, focus on metabolic flexibility, your body's ability to switch between burning sugar and fat. This happens through intermittent fasting, varied physical activity, and avoiding constant snacking. Your body knows how to regulate itself if you stop interfering. Why does exercise, something that's supposed to be healthy, actually stress your body? Every time you exercise, you're literally damaging your muscles, elevating stress hormones, and creating inflammation. Yet somehow, this makes you healthier. This paradox confuses millions of people. The fitness industry sells exercise as pure benefit, but they're ignoring the fundamental truth. Exercise is a stressor. And like all stressors, it can be helpful or harmful, depending on the dose and recovery. So how do we harness exercise stress for health instead of destruction? The magic is in the recovery. Exercise creates adaptive stress, damage that makes you stronger when you recover properly. But without adequate rest, nutrition and sleep, exercise becomes destructive stress. Your body needs challenge followed by recovery. This is why rest days aren't optional. They're when the actual health benefits occur. Why do we spend billions on supplements when our ancestors got everything they needed from food and movement? The supplement industry has convinced us that we need dozens of pills to be healthy, but this completely ignores how our bodies actually evolved to obtain and process nutrients. Here's what they don't want you to know. Most supplements are poorly absorbed, create expensive urine, and can actually interfere with your body's natural nutrient processing systems. So, what's the real secret to getting the nutrients your body actually needs? Your body is designed to extract nutrients from whole foods, not isolated compounds. The synergy between nutrients in real food is what makes them bioavailable. Focus on nutrient-dense whole foods, adequate sleep and physical activity. These create the conditions for optimal nutrient absorption and utilization. What if most of what we call aging is actually just the result of modern lifestyle choices? We've accepted muscle loss, bone density decline and metabolic dysfunction as inevitable parts of aging, but our evolutionary history suggests otherwise. Hunter-gatherer societies show minimal age-related decline in physical function compared to modern populations. The difference isn't genetics, it's lifestyle. We're experiencing accelerated aging due to evolutionary mismatch. So what's the real difference between natural aging and lifestyle-induced decline? True aging is gradual and minimal. What we call aging is mostly disuse. Muscles atrophy because we don't use them, bones weaken because we don't stress them, metabolism slows because we don't challenge it. The fountain of youth isn't a supplement, it's continued physical challenge throughout life. Why do 95% of diets fail when millions of people have strong willpower? The weight loss industry blames you for lack of willpower. But this ignores the fundamental truth. You're fighting evolutionary programming that kept our species alive for millions of years. Your body is designed to regain lost weight because from an evolutionary perspective, weight loss signals starvation. Every diet triggers survival mechanisms that make you hungry, tired and focused on food. So, how do we lose weight without triggering our body's survival programming? The secret is working with your biology, not against it. Gradual changes, adequate protein, strength training to preserve muscle, and eating patterns that mimic ancestral cycles. Your body will cooperate when it doesn't perceive starvation. It's not about willpower, it's about evolutionary alignment. These 12 lies have been sabotaging your health because they ignore millions of years of human evolution. Dr. Lieberman's research shows us that our bodies are incredibly sophisticated machines when we work with them instead of against them. The real secret to health isn't following the latest trends or fighting your biology. It's understanding what your body is actually designed to do and creating modern solutions that align with your evolutionary programming. Which of these myths surprised you the most? Drop a comment below and let us know which lie you've been believing. And if this video opened your eyes to the truth about your body, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because there's so much more life-changing science we need to share with you. Remember, your body isn't broken. The advice you've been following might be